Yo, what's going on? This be your boy DJ Anonymous with episode 8 of Sports Biz Music, the podcast, and I got a special guest in the building. I got my boy Andre, owner of Mostvile.
Yo, what's up, man?
What's going
Thanks
on,
for
man?
having me on the show.
Man, so tell people about yourself. Like, what? First of all, if people don't know, that's a clothing brand.
Yeah, Mostvile is a clothing line I started back in high school.
So, like, tell the people the history of it, like why you started it. Like.
All right, so basically, I grew up doing graffiti when I was young. To this day, I do it, but it got me into a lot of trouble when I was a jit. So after my second arrest, I noticed that there wasn't too much to be done in the graffiti because a lot of people are like losers. You know, I got to as I got older, I found out and realized that a lot of the people I look up to, they're not what they seem to be. Some of them are, but most of them, they weren't. You know what I'm saying? So that changed my perspective. And then when I was 18, I dropped my first shirt, Mostvile. The drips in the back, it's like a hand style that I did, and then the front was an A-ball, and it was dope. I dropped 24 shirts and it sold out like within the next day. So then I realized, I could do this. So I kept pushing shirts, and here I am, still doing it. You know what I'm saying?
So how long has it been? Like
6 years.
6 years.
Yeah, 6 years.
So doing them 6 years.
I mean 6 years, like on and off though.
Yeah. So
because I took a lot of breaks and shit.
What did you do during the breaks?
I mean, it's not like I took breaks. I just lost focus. One thing that I could say is like to not lose focus. You lose focus, you lose time that you don't get back. So the younger you are, the easier it is to do shit. You get what I'm saying? Like you have less shit on your mind, less responsibilities. I mean, I had hella responsibilities since I was 16 because of the way my life worked out. But to a certain extent, I had a lot more freedom than what I do now. But now I'm more focused than I was then. You get what I'm saying? So that's what it is.
So like, what made you? Cause I like to ask people like these questions about like their career path. Yep. Like what was that one thing that got you into like want to do your clothing brand? So
I was never into fashion. To this day, I'm not into fashion. The only thing I've ever done fashion wise that I enjoyed was collecting shoes. I collected a lot of Jordans, Nike SBs, and all that when I was in high school.
And Nike SBs.
Yeah, you feel me? They gotta come back because goddamn.
Yeah,
but no, I was into shoes. I was never into designer clothes. I mean, I had a lot of Polo. I had a lot of Ralph Lauren, but that was I'm sure everybody has some Ralph Lauren.
I still wear Polo. And,
me too. You feel me? Yeah. So. What it was like, Mostvile is like a family. It's not only me and Mostvile. Like I'm the owner of Mostvile, the clothing line, and the creator of everything. But as far as like what Mostvile stands for is for more than one person. You know what I'm saying? It's like 12 of us, and we're like a family that we ride together and shit like that. What made me start,
so y'all like Wu-Tang.
Yeah, we're like Wu-Tang, like everybody supports me for my clothing line, no one's greedy and wants to have like a piece, I mean, I give everybody opportunity with the platform I created for myself and, to make money with me, you know what I'm saying? I'll be like, yo, pitch me a design, let's work on it, sit on it for a couple months and then release it, you feel me? Because I don't release designs from one day to the next. I literally sit on the same design for like weeks, you feel me, or months, or maybe even a year or two type shit,
And on my last podcast, shout out to Valona.
Yeah, I heard that podcast.
We was talking about music, how music is becoming like you have to drop like albums all the time and stuff. Like, and I was, me and her was talking about like you could drop music, but don't drop an album today, then drop one tomorrow. Like, drop an album and then, drop a couple singles or EPs in between that time until you you come out with something else. Because, back in the day, you came out with an album, you could sit on it for about 2 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I see that even with...
I mean, to this day, I like that. Like, my favorite rappers are, like, J. Cole is one of my favorites right now. You feel me? Yeah, J. Cole is one of my favorite. I like Kodak as well. I feel like, they work more on themselves than they do in music, and the music just comes naturally. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I feel like you got to do. You can't push to create. You got to just like let the creative like flow through you. You know what I'm saying? Like the creations just have to come out of you, type shit. You know, because if you try to push too much, you know, like you can't. I feel like a lot of people like the new term like making it. You know, like, oh, I'm trying to make it, this and that. Like I don't. You know, you can make it within yourself. You get what I'm saying? Like as long as you're healthy, like. I don't plan on being like a millionaire off my shit. If it happens, it happens. If not, cool. You know, my real goal is like to travel and to inspire other people and to have the gift to create continuously. Like I don't want to like one day be like, damn, dog, like I can't, you know, get up, come to my shop and print. Like this is like a luxury to me to have this shop right here. You feel me?
And a lot of people not fortunate enough to even have like their own spot.
Yeah, but I mean you make yourself fortunate. I feel like a lot of people blame their surroundings and blame this and that. I had one of the most like rough upcoming. I know that just sounds cliche. Like a lot of people say the
everybody.
same.
I always felt like everybody got different challenges.
Everybody says they, you know, they had a rough upcoming, like a rough childhood, a rough this or rough that. But you know, I can relate to those people as well. You feel me? Because I'm from Brazil. I was born in Brazil. Brazil, and I came Santos, São Paulo, to be exact, in Santos. My mom is from the favela, like straight favela, like Morro da Penha and Santos. And that's like where my closest family, like I haven't seen them in 12 years now. Yeah. But they're like my closest, like, you know, I could call them anytime and I could feel the love like through the phone. You know what I'm saying? And my dad, he's from Brazil too, but his family lives here with him. You know, like he lives here too, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not as, like I love my family here too, like, you know. But I'm not as close with them as I am to like my Brazilian family. You know? And since I moved here, I haven't been in the same house for more than a year since I moved when I was 5. So I've been in like 17 different houses, literally. I lived around the whole Miami. I lived in Broward, you know, and I never found 1 second to make an excuse. Like I used to bike from Hollandale to Lil Haiti every day. Every day for like 4 or 5 months. And now, you know, it's not big, but I got a scooter. You know, I have an El Camino at the crib, a 1979. But, you know, I was trying to, like, flex with an El Camino when I realized, like, yo, I got it when I was 19. I'm like, yo, I'm 19. Instead of putting all this money into this whip, let me make money to, you know, have, like, a real future. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and I never, you know, sit down, waste time, smoke weed. Like, I love smoking weed, but at the end of the day, you know, I only smoke at night. Like, I'll never hit the blunt, nothing during the day.
I'm not a smoker, but I'm not the type of person. I'm the type of person like this. Not a lot of people could drink. Not a lot of people could smoke. You know, it's not that people need it. It's just they, you know, it's like me. Like I love drinking Gatorade. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Gatorade like fulfills me, especially, you know, like when I'm up doing work, whether it's the podcast, like, or if I'm doing like a mixtape or something, or even doing like schoolwork or like a 9 to 5, like Gatorade keeps me, you know what I'm saying? It just keeps me like, that's like my high, you feel me? So it's just like, you know, I respect that because I've had conversations. I know people who you know, who smoke weed or who drink, but they don't let that overtake.
You can't.
You can't let that.
If you have a goal, if you have a plan, and if you make yourself a schedule, and if you smoke weed, that shit's not gonna work. It's like you know, it's a recipe for like disaster. Because you're gonna, even when, you know, I'll smoke at night, the next day I'll wake up unmotivated. The next day I'll wake up tired, not wanting to do shit. You know, I'll be second guessing all my decisions, shit that I've planned like months ahead. I'll second guess when it comes down to it. You know, like, damn, is that really what I want? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I feel like smoking weed, you have to do it moderately. Like, everybody has an addiction. Everybody has, like, a high. It's like a mental thing. Like, eating cheese.
Yes, it's an addiction,
Like, there's chemicals in cheese that you get addicted to. You know, just saying the word cheese, like, you fucking around want a cheese quesadilla right now. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, shit like that. So you have to really find and pick your high. And find and pick, like, what you let into your mind. Because your mind could literally control you. Like, it could take over you. Shit, you know.
To get back real quick to the when you said when you release a design, you sit on it, and we was comparing like the music and the clothing brand, because clothing brands like right now they coming out with different stuff like almost every week, especially like you see with sneakers and like with Jordans and Nikes, they coming out with different designs like almost not even every quarter no more. It's like every 2 months.
Yeah.
So do you think, like, as a owner of a clothing brand, that it is important just to let design sit for a while and just build that cult following?
Yeah, because I feel like everything, is timing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I can't, like, everybody has that moment that people are gonna see you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that you're gonna be in the eyes of the masses, and then you're gonna disappear. Like, no one stays at the top forever. You feel me? Like, no one does, unless you're like a late great rapper like Tupac. Like, he's forever at the top because rest in peace. But you need to like time everything. Like, I could feel super raw right now and design the rawest shit that I think is like gonna be super fire, but it's not the right moment. You feel me? So instead of like scrapping the idea or feeling bad about the idea, what I do is I just put it to the side, and when it's time for like a pop-up or time for like to start picking like a selection of designs that I'm gonna release in a bundle, that's when I sit and I kind of like pick and choose what I really want. I treat myself as like a rapper. I feel like I coordinate my designs as like a musician would. You know what I'm saying? Like the same way a musician would drop 30 tracks and then only 10 would make it on the album. I do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? And then I'll either drop like out of those 30, after the 10 that I released that I think are the best, I'll drop like 2 singles. You know what I'm saying? Like 2 single designs for people to like to stay relevant. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not like
limited,
completely out of the eyes. Yeah, limited. Everything I do is limited because everything I do is hand printed by me, designed by me. Everything here at the shop. You know what I'm saying? I have, like I said, the luxury of being so ambitious to learn all these different things, and I feel like I got to see the world at an early age. So I got to learn a lot, and I like to travel. So I went to I did a road trip when I was 17. As soon as I graduated high school.
Where did you go?
I went to Colorado. Boulder. And I went to Boulder University actually, and that was like when I realized that I definitely didn't want to associate. Like, nothing against college students, nothing against, shout out everybody going to college doing the thing.
I'm going right now for 30 degrees.
At this, you feel me? Right now at this age, I kind of wish I could go to college, but I can't. But well, I probably can, but I tell myself I can't because I don't. Deep down, I don't want to.
I feel like, because with me, I told tell everybody. For me, growing up in the household, especially in the island, in the island household, education was very important. Like, I'm talking about, like, my mom was straight on it. My dad, he's from small town, Live Oak, Florida. So, like, he went to school and stuff like that. So they always make sure that I was, like, on it. And then
on top of your
yeah. So as I got older, I'm like, I really love school, but not just for the books though, just to meet new people.
I was about to say that. Like, the number one thing I learned in high school wasn't even nothing with the books. Like, I learned a couple things with the books, but the main thing I learned in high school was how to interact with people. Like, how to deal with 1,000,001 different types of characteristics. You know what I'm saying? And that's super important because not everybody's the same. So I'm super open-minded. Like, you could like the most heavy metal rock music there is, or you could like the most opera music there is, and I could relate to both of those.
I was the same way in high school.
You feel me? Like, and I have friends that don't think like that. That if they think it's whack, it's whack. Like they don't think it's whack. They know it's whack in their eyes. You know what I'm saying? They don't even give it a chance. Like, oh, maybe this person. Let me see why they like. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't have that. You feel me? So in high school, I learned how to learn. Like, I learned how to fucking just pay attention to things like that. You know what I'm saying? And understand different people. You feel what I'm saying?
So, all right. So you got your clothing brand.
Yeah.
Also,
we got the screen printing company.
Oh, yeah. What's the name of it
again? It's called Against All Odds.
Against All Odds. What? Yeah. Why you name it that?
So Against All Odds, pretty much, this is like my gold right here. It's my gold mine. So what it was like I said, I started my clothing line when I was in high school 6 years ago, and I was working at a restaurant called Casa Tua on 17th and James Avenue. It's a fine dining restaurant. I was making stupid money. And I was saving money, and investing in my clothing lines, just releasing design, while like doing trips as well, seeing like I've been to Atlanta a couple times, whatever. So point is, I quit that restaurant to learn how to screen print. I started working for Damage Inc. My dog David Miller, he's still like my super good friend. I was working for him